4 wins down, 12 to go. Often not the attitude I would take towards a playoff run, but ultimately the approach that I'm taking this time out. We are the defending Stanley Cup champions. We made it through the first round relatively easily against Winnipeg, and now we look forward to this series here against Minnesota, where again we are just 12 wins away from telling Mike Milbury to eat pant yet again. I know that's not what everyone's looking forward to, and if anything, I think it creates an interesting dynamic that there's a decent amount of you that are actively rooting against this team to succeed. I don't take offense to it. I think it's hilarious because, yeah, no, it makes sense as to why you would want to see this team fail, to see what could possibly happen to this fantastic team that we have created. Of course, the first round was not perfect. Patrick Kane was a little bit quiet, and yes, obviously as a result of, I would say, the power play debacle. But Dylan Strome, not that great as well. DeBrincat was fine. Of course, we did a complete rundown of the stats, but that second line really did carry the team. I'm excited to see what happens here in this next round because, of course, Minnesota 48 wins. It's intriguing to see how that's going to go down. There was a bit of a conversation as far as like, hey, I didn't really give Mackenzie Blackwood that long of a leash. And no, I didn't. I mean, yeah, we gave him a pretty big contract, or at least in terms of term, but ultimately, that it doesn't mean we have to stick with him in situations where he's not getting it done. Did the Chicago Blackhawks give Corey Crawford that long of a leash, or did they turn things over to Scott Darling, who was able to turn it around to get them on to the next round, and then you take it from there? Again, that's always kind of going to be my go-to, as much as people will always be like, oh, your super team lost in the first round. Happened to Tampa, though. It's like, okay, well, teams don't always stick with their starter. I mean, we've seen, God, how many times? I mean, at least once, like Holtby, clearly the starter for Washington. Nope, never mind. We're going with someone else because you're struggling. Happened in Colorado, I believe, with Grubauer again, didn't it? Taking over for Varlamov. So these things happen. Point being, Olaf Lindblom is going to get the opportunity to start this series. We're going to continue to just rotate depending on who actually decides that they want to play well and get the job done. Let's take a look at what we're up against. The Minnesota Wild lineup. I will not be rocking my Gaborik jersey for this one. Oh, boy. That center depth could be a problem. Top line, Kirill Kaprizov, who, yeah, he's doing what he does. He's doing what he does. Centered by Alex Galchenyuk, who's up to a 90, even though he's only a second liner, so he's not a legitimate 90. And Dmitry Sokolov is there, which is hilarious. I mean, he does have ridiculous shot power and really good offensive awareness, at least. Wow, that's crazy. Second line, Jordan Greenway next to Ryan Donato and Matt Boldy. Third line, Alex True, Luke Kunin, and Trent Frederick. Fourth line, Jack Roslovich, Yakov Trenin, and Will Bitton. I mean, it's a good team. That top six is pretty filthy. I mean, in a better world, you'd probably rock Kunin up top in the top six, probably top line. But it's not exactly a bad thing to have that center depth. It's a good team. It's a really good team. Defensively, it doesn't get any easier for us. Will Butcher and Vince Dunn. Second pairing of Jared Spurgeon and Matt Dumba. Third pair, Jamie Alexiak and Kalen Addison. It's a really good team. Who's the goaltender? Jordan Binnington. Oh, boy. And Craig Anderson, healthy scratches. Tanner Lashinsky, Ryan Murray, who's injured, and Brennan Manel. Could we lose here? Absolutely. It's the only real way to put it, I'd say. We could absolutely be in trouble here. They're a good team. They're on a good run heading into the playoffs. They made it out of the first round. They have the advantage on defense as well, which isn't surprising, but will the difference maker be our 100 rated offense? That at least needs to be the difference maker if we're going to walk away with a win here in this series. So they're a very well-rounded squad. We have some players that we need to see wake up a little bit, and we'll see if they can do just that. Let's get this second round matchup underway. And hopefully, again, a little bit less controversy this time in terms of goaltending. Let's just hope we get the team performances that we need. First period, of Game 1, and it is not a good start in terms of goaltending. Whew, boy. Okay, 13 shots to 6. Ryan Donato on the power play. Bitten and Kaprizov. Strome gets one back, but that was not pretty. 3-1, 13 shots to 6, I should say. They doubled us up, more than doubled us up in shots, more than doubled us up on the board. Second period, it gets worse, and for some reason, we don't pull the goalie, and I have no control over being able to do that. Galchenyuk, 2 goals on the power play. Alexiak, of all people, scores. Patrick Kane gets one back. It is 6-2. 6 goals on 22 shots, I believe it was, as we started the third period. We have a power play chance. We don't score. They do. Jordan Greenway makes it 7. Luke Kunin makes it 8. We are being embarrassed on our home ice as defending champions. Jack Roslovic makes it 9. For the love of God, in NHL 21, or who knows, 22, can I please get control from this menu over who's in my net? Because my head coach, just Patrick Wad, Olaf Lindbaum, and I don't really approve. 10-2 is the final score. 10 goals on 33 shots. I mean, what do you say to that? What can you say to that? 5-point game. I mean, their top line. Big-time players, and of course, Ryan Donato, 4 points on that second line. They just kicked the ever-loving hell out of us. They only had 4 players who went without a point. Kalen Addison was a +4. Meanwhile, we had 4 players with points in that game. Dylan and Pulock, our top defensive pairing, got ripped to shreds. And, final 5 minutes, Mackenzie Blackwood got to play. Well, that's nice. Olaf Lindbaum rocking a .688 save percentage, looking like an OTP drop-in goalie. I asked for defensive and goaltending stability. That is not what I got in Game 1. The exact opposite seemingly occurred. Lindbaum will not be starting this next game. Mackenzie Blackwood will get the chance. He cannot do much worse. We'll hope the team in front of him also decides to show up and not completely give up, as they clearly did in Game 1. I mean, it's going to be tough to not have a better performance, I would say. First period of Game 2, and we might be in a bit of trouble here. Galchenyuk and Kaprizov. It's 2-0. 15 shots to 8. Second period, still a 2-goal lead. Vince Dunn made it 3-0. Patrick Kane gets one back. We are in a world of hurt right now. I mean, this is kind of scary. Power play for the Wild successfully killed off. We need a couple of quick goals. There's one. Kirby Dach gets us back to within striking distance. And Galchenyuk ruins my day. The Minnesota Wild are going to have a 2-0 series lead to begin this series. 40 shots to 28, 4-2 final. Our high-powered 100 overall offense cannot seem to solve Jordan Binnington right now, at least not consistently. We were outscored 14-4 through those first 2 games, and we certainly need to hope that it's the home team loses trend that we are witnessing here. Otherwise, we are in a bad way. Mackenzie Blackwood will get the start in this next game, but I think, needless to say, some changes are due here, as Casey Fitzgerald has really struggled so far. Almost tempted to give Davies an opportunity. Tempted. And the problem is, first and foremost, I think we're going to go with Boqvist and Clark on that top unit. They've been a decent pairing. Dylan and Pulock, we're going to break up here. I just don't know who's going where. I guess it does make sense to drop Dylan a little bit. Let's go Gilbert, Pulock, Dylan, Fitzgerald. Let's just try something different, because we obviously have to. Kane, Strome, DeBrincat, they've woken up a little bit. That third line has been abysmal. The fourth line hasn't been much better. So we're not going to change up. What are we going to do here? Because there's always the argument of don't change up who's in the lineup, chemistry, but right now it's just not working. Not much is working with this team right now. Obviously, if anyone deserves the right to try to turn it around and dig themselves out of it, though, it's this team. So we'll give them a chance. But it really is, what have you done for me lately? God, I wish we had Alex Nylander right now. Kurashev, I'm sorry. You're going to take a seat because Kayumov is probably going to get an opportunity. Maybe. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely do not know how I want to play this here. The problem is that fourth line has to stick together because they're all grinders unless I change somebody over. Yeah, this isn't good. This is not good. Kayumov and Kurashev might be taking a seat here. Do we have a natural grinder? I think Hagel is a grinder. I am going to give Jake Virtanen an opportunity, probably on the third line. And just a look here, Hagel's a playmaker. Okay, he's not the player that I thought he was. I thought he was more physical than that. I was wrong. I would call up Eriksson Ek, but again, I don't really want to get into changing around player types. Nordgren couldn't cut the mustard. Ryan Carpenter, congratulations. You're getting the call up because, again, desperate times call for desperate measures. Although, God, do I really trust Casey Fitzgerald right now? You know what? I don't. Screw it. Fitzgerald and Capobianco will take a seat. And we're going to give Jeremy Davies a chance. Last year's Defenseman of the Year, or the year before, when he was with Boston. And we're going to just try something different because, let's be honest, we have to. So, Ryan Carpenter, congratulations, you are in. And I think I want Entwistle to take a seat for Virtanen because that should keep somewhat of a boost. It's worth a shot, at least, to just change something up about this team. And again, hopefully the top six can continue to deliver. So defensively, it is going to be Davies who gets the chance. I don't feel great about splitting up Dylan and Pulock. We'll at least keep them together, but lower their ice time. That's going to be the team. Again, Mackenzie Blackwood gets the chance. Not what I thought I would have to do 2 games into this series. The key players are still there. I mean, again, taking out Mackenzie Entwistle, Philip Kurashev, and Casey Fitzgerald shouldn't be enough to sink this team. We need some sort of a spark here for Game 3. Let's hope the new faces to the lineup are able to bring it. First period, scoreless. That's actually benefiting us. 11 shots to 8, though. We are still having trouble getting pucks past Binnington. Second period, that's much better. DeBrincat, Eakin, and Strome with the goals. Kaprizov scores one on the power play, but we're seeing a much better team performance here. 3-1, 22 shots apiece. Easy for me to say, but yeah, a much better performance here from the team right now. As we go to the third period, early power play, Kirby Dach scores again. So maybe Minnesota with a power play, they score in the aftermath. Luke Kunin gets a goal. We have another power play chance ourselves. Maybe, just maybe, it is the home team's going to be losing kind of trend as we are just wasting power plays. There we go. Ned Eakin makes it 5-2. That should do it. I was worried about a 2-goal lead, but a 3-goal lead at this stage is going to be enough. So, indeed, the home team yet to win in this series. We need that trend to continue for at least one more game. It's a 5-2 victory. Much better performance from Blackwood, the best goaltending performance we've seen, and really just the best goaltending or best in general performance we've seen from this team so far in this series, which wasn't that difficult to accomplish, if you think about it. Jeremy Davies only played 8 minutes, but he did pretty well. Gilbert ended up with 12, I would presume, because of penalty kill time. That third line wasn't exactly tremendous, nor was Boqvist and Clark, but they got the job done. Lindbaum made a save despite not playing. I'm not even going to ask. Why bother, right? Why? Don't ask questions. Take the victory where you can get it. So the Western Conference is playing off in the same way. Vegas won the first 2 games. Vancouver wins Game 3. It's a 2-1 split across the board. We're going to leave the team the same after that victory. Blackwood should be in. It's game 4. Let's see what happens. Either we're going to tie the series up at 2 games apiece, or we're heading back home facing a 3-1 deficit. First period, not a great start. Jake Virtanen does score, but Alexiak and Kunin on the power play. Jamie Alexiak has more goals than the majority of my team in the series so far. 13 shots to 10, they have the advantage. Second period is scoreless, which isn't great. Shots are close, the score is still close, but we need a strong third period effort here, or we are facing one hell of a comeback attempt. Extended 5-on-3, and we finally scored. Jesus, I thought we were going to waste the whole thing. DeBrincat on the power play. That was a ridiculous amount of power play time. We're halfway through the third. Next goal could very well win the game. It's Dylan Strome. Come on, please. 3.5, 2.5, 1.5, 37 seconds. Let's go. Whew. The home team winning trend, or home team not winning trend, also known as the losing trend, is a thing. We are tied at 2 games apiece. Great performances from Blackwood. At least a hell of a lot better than what we were getting. Dylan Strome certainly doing better. Whew. And we live to see another day. Not that we would have been eliminated there, but it certainly could have been rough had we lost that game. And again, facing a 3-1 deficit. Instead, now we are tied at 2 apiece. The penalties, by the way, in the start of that third period. Hooking call on Galchenyuk, high sticking on Dumba, double minor high sticking on Alexiak. All within the opening minutes, really, or the first 10 minutes of that third period. So right now we're looking good. Vegas up 3-1, and 2-2 splits in the East. So I don't know if it's just due to luck, the lineup changes, or whatever, but we outscored them 8-4, and that sets up a very interesting 5th game here in the series, where we need that home team trend to stop. We need to get a win here desperately. Carpenter hasn't been amazing, but he hasn't been an outright detriment. And of course, Jake Virtanen, at least so far in this playoff run, has been okay with that 1 goal. In terms of swapping them, though, I think I'm going to do that. We'll play Virtanen next to Taves and Metropolit. And we'll see how that works out for us. So let's do it. Game 5. Tugi, you had to change the lineups before the game. Yeah, you're right, I did. I wanted to. It's May 1st of 2025. Here we go. Game 5. Let's see what we can do. First period, hell of a start. Ned Eakin on the power play. Jonathan Taves on the power play. 11 shots to 5. Great start for the Blackhawks. Second period, it's still decent. DeBrincat made it 3-1. Matt Boldy gets him back into the game. 21 shots to 16. But right now we're looking okay. 20 minutes to go. Can we hold on? Power play for the Wild goes to waste. Good kill. Lashinsky scores. Not good. Can we get the insurance goal that we need? Under 9 minutes left. We need one of our big names to show up right now and ice this game. Come on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Brant Clark, empty netter. For the first time in this series, the home team wins a game, and we are 1 win away from going back to the Western Conference Final. Huge game for Jonathan Taves. Great game for Mackenzie Blackwood. Alex DeBrincat a goal as well, your 3 stars. Whew, what a game for the captain. What a game for the captain at a crucial time. And again, Mackenzie Blackwood, it wasn't as if we were never going to give him a chance, but it's like, okay, let's see one of these 2 goalies grab the old brass ring here. And it happened. I mean, Lindbaum screwed up in game 1, and thankfully, I mean, game 2 wasn't great, but Blackwood had the better numbers because of that 10 bomb that they dropped on us. And he's been solid over the last 3 games. Game 6, this team is going to stay the same. I'm tempted to maybe change things up within the top 6. I'm a little bit worried, but we'll make it happen. Obviously, Blackwood's numbers look a hell of a lot better at this point. Let's do this. 1 win away from taking on either Vegas or Vancouver in the final. New Jersey and Ottawa on the verge of making the conference final as well. Here we go. Can we get the win? Let's find out. First period, goal apiece. Alex True and Jake Virtanen really stepping up in this, role. Of course, I wanted to use some of the guys that we had on the roster for a while. Virtanen was brought in the depth role to boost up the AHL, but it's like, okay, if those quote-unquote homegrown talents are going to fail, let's see what Virtanen can do. It was the right time to put him in the lineup, and here you go. Good things can happen. It was, obviously, it's like, okay, I want to use some different faces. Some of the homegrown Chicago talent, and guys like Khrushchev started off hot and then kind of fizzled out. Second period, Minnesota grabbed the lead. 2 power play goals, Boldy and Kunin. And unless we have a big third period here, we're going to Game 7 back home in Chicago. 28 shots to 17. Early power play chance. Patty Kane scores. We're still on the power play. We can't take advantage from there, though. But we are within 1. Can we get the goal to tie this up? Under 10 minutes left. Is the goal coming? It's not for us. Kaprizov. It's 4-2. Minnesota is going to force Game 7. Kunin, the empty netter, insult to injury. 5-2 is the final. Jordan Bennington shut us down. Kunin with a great game. Sokolov with a great game. And Alex True, an old face from the Sharks series, with a pretty solid game. Damn. Pokefist and Doc kind of struggled. Blackwood didn't have his best game. We're going to 7. The defense of our title on the line, a spot in the Western Conference Final on the line. The other series also going to 7. Only one series is done, and that is Ottawa beating Toronto in 6 games. We have to put out the best lineup that we possibly can and also factor in who's played well. I want to take a look here at Ryan Carpenter's numbers in this postseason run. He's been, we'll say, harmless. Nosek hasn't been brutal. Quenneville, that fourth line's just really been a non-factor. Like, they haven't been a detriment to the team, but they haven't been a positive either. Metropolitan, I gotta be honest, the penalties that he's taken and the fact that he's a minus player, he has been a detriment to the team. Jonathan Toews offensively has been good, but defensively he's been brutal. And then we take a look at Virtanen, who has been solid through the 4 games that he's played. So it's kind of a tough call as far as what to do here. It really is. I'm tempted to go with something drastic. I am tempted to go with something quite drastic. What gives us the best chance to win? Roll with the players who got us here, even if they're struggling, or go with the drastic option that could see us through? I think we're going with the drastic option. Kayumov is going to get the call-up. Eriksson Ek is likely to get the call-up. If not, Zion Niebeck or Altai Barmakian. I think Alex Fortin is a foregone conclusion for me in terms of getting a call-up. Kayumov and Eriksson Ek. These 3 are getting the call-up. Going down, Nosek, Entwistle, Carpenter, and probably Quenneville. We are going to completely change up the bottom 6. Told you I was thinking drastic. I don't care if I piss off the team morale-wise or not. It's crunch time. I don't care about friendships. Win the damn game. Win the damn game. So right now it is going to be Toews, Metropolit, and Fortin on the 4th line. It is going to be Kayumov, Eriksson Ek, and Virtanen on the 3rd. Huge opportunity for them. And then in the top 6, who do I trust? Who do I trust the most to be able to get it done? We have 3 snipers. 2 are likely to be on the top line. And I don't think it's going to be Patrick Kane, who's been the best playmaker of the bunch. 8 assists for Strome. 8 assists for Braden Point. You know, I'm going to try Braden Point in an entirely different role than where he's been recently. We're going to go Kane, Strome, Doc, Eakin, Point, DeBrincat, Kayumov, Eriksson, for Tannen, Metropolit, Taves, Fortan. The defense. Just to take a look here. It's going to be Dylan and Gilbert. Let's roll with Dylan and Gilbert. I mean, Brandt Clark's been our top defenseman. Just to take a look here, though. Who's the best fit? We're going to go Pulock, Clark, Davies, Boakfist, Gilbert, Dillon. The goaltender is obviously going to be Mackenzie Blackwood. Our power play, though, just to confirm. I mean, Taves is there. There is no Patrick Kane, which is shocking, but I think he's the only big name missing. Yeah, I'm just going to roll with that. I'm going to roll with it. Call that sabotage, but that power play should still be good enough to get the job done. We're going for it. I mean, again, it is a complete, nearly a completely different lineup, but the big names are still there, and they need to carry us through. Sink or swim, damn it. First period. Decent start. Brandt Clark on the power play. Alex True scores again. 10 shots to 7 in their favor, but we're tied. Again, getting rid of the players who weren't exactly getting it done. Short time to prove yourselves, but we'll see if the new boys in the lineup can get it done. Second period, we have the lead, and it's Jeremy Davies. Huge goal there as he takes over for Casey Fitzgerald. We go to the third, up by 1. 17 shots to 15. 2-1 lead. Who's going to the Western Conference Final? Can we get that so important next goal? 5 minutes gone, still in the lead. Oh my god, power play, damn it. Halfway through the third, power play from Minnesota. They don't score. Under 5, under 4, power play for the Wild. They score. Luke Kunin. We're going to overtime in Game 7. And you know what that means. We're jumping in. And we're going to watch this play out. Wow. That is obviously not what I was hoping for. Obviously not. We couldn't hold on. We need to find the goals to win it. It's time to see how this one's going to play out. Oh, God, here we go. Overtime. Game 7. Winner goes to the Western Conference Final. Let's see how it plays out here, shall we? Let's do this. I am scared, if not outright horrified. But we'll see what we can do. I believe in this team, damn it. I believe in this team. Puck sent around. Brandt Clark recovers. Dishes it off. Ned Eakin has it. Chance, bit of space. Doesn't take the shot. DeBrincat. Back for Eakin. Quick give and go. Doesn't go. I can't believe Ned Eakin didn't take advantage of that shooting opportunity. That's insane. Chance for Minnesota. Shot. Rebound, and they score. The Minnesota Wild have knocked out the defending champions in 7 games, winning 6 and 7 to do so. A disastrous situation. That quickly it starts. It looks like we're going to have a chance. Ned Eakin doesn't shoot. And Mike Milbury, somewhere, is smiling off of that horrific rebound from Blackwood, because the Minnesota Wild have regained control of this team. or the Minnesota Wild have regained control of this team. Because of Minnesota Wild's, the Minnesota Wild's win, Mike Milbury has regained control of this team. Although you could argue the Minnesota Wild can indeed, claim that we should be calling them daddy right about now, because woof. Dmitry Sokolov ends it. Go back to the far side here, though. I mean, this is a great play by Eakin. I don't even know if he was on side here. So, little bit of controversy in Chicago here, huh? Not only should he have been offside, perfect bit of screening, he doesn't shoot. Someone with his shooting ability doesn't pop it into that corner. Instead, right here as well, doesn't shoot. Between the legs, no look pass to Clark. And then Brandt Clark, no look backhand pass to someone who's not on his proper hand. Thank you very much for watching. You know the deal. Support the video, support the channel, all these great things. Patreon. Yeah, nope, that look about sums it up.